off, we're not really worried about it. But they are worried about it, and they are watching it very closely because this changes everything. Watch.
Xi Jinping made history today. The Chinese president landed in Riyadh. A red carpet awaited him. A historic Arab-China summit is to take place. And as the cameras of the world zoomed into Saudi Arabia, it was the United States that was watching most closely, with worry, with fear. America was watching its oil diplomacy fall apart.
So, wow, it is happening. More on that major piece of news in a second, but first, another major blow to the US dollar yesterday. Overnight, we learned that the Brics nations are now expanding. Yes, Egypt has officially joined the Brics Development Bank. So let's be clear what's happening right in front of our faces. The Brics nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are building their own reserve currency built on gold and other commodities like uranium, graphite, copper. The United States dollar is built on debt and the nothing, just like the never-ending story.
What is the nothing?
It's the emptiness that's left. What is the nothing? Well, Atreyu, the nothing is a failure of Western hegemony, which is built on a house of cards. And now Egypt is applying for full membership in the Brics alliance, but they're joining the bank piece of this first. And also Turkey, Saudi Arabia, they're both applying for Brics membership as well, away from the US dollar as a reserve currency. So you can just imagine for a moment a Russia, Saudi, China, India currency backed by gold. It's game on. Now, Brics is working to develop its own financial infrastructure, including a joint payment network, with some member states having already switched to trade in local currencies in order to reduce dependence on the US dollar and the euro. The 5 Brics economies currently account for more than 40% of the world's population and nearly a quarter of global GDP. So, guys, it's happening. And then you want to layer in Saudi Arabia and Turkey and Egypt. Again, this house of cards is falling. So this Brics news is a huge piece of the story. So why is Saudi Arabia turning its back on the United States? Well, it can be traced back to one event. One big event, the start of the war in Ukraine. OPEC Plus and Saudi Arabia specifically warned the United States not to impose sanctions on Russia. They didn't listen. Europe didn't listen. Instead, they pig-headedly did the opposite, and we thought our relationship with Saudi Arabia would continue unabated. We'll just continue to buy your oil, send you weapons, and everything will be okay. Nope. Not even close. In fact, this is a failure of the Biden administration of the highest order, and it will hurt America's ability to secure low-cost oil, period. And John Kirby was asked about it, and he said, the Saudis love us. We'll go. We've got nothing to worry about. Clearly, we're better partners than they are. Forget those Chinese and those Russian partners. Who cares? So they're living in a fantasy world at the White House. So let's unpack why this is a game changer for the U.S. power dynamic. Now, President Xi Jinping never leaves his country. He's kind of like me, never leaving my house. He only leaves when he's making big deals to weaken the United States and strengthen China, meeting with Putin to create a new Brics currency and leave behind the US dollar, or flying to Kazakhstan, which he did. In September, President Xi flew to Kazakhstan to secure a huge oil guarantee for lower-cost petroleum for China, and also refined copper for making electronics. And in return, China will send electronics and shoes and manufactured clothing back to Kazakhstan. And now a trip to Saudi Arabia for Xi Jinping to line up massive amounts of oil for China. Now, this comes just months after President Joe Biden bumbled his way through the Middle East and vowed in a speech during his visit to Saudi Arabia that the United States would not leave a vacuum in the Middle East to be filled by China, Russia, and Iran. Watch.
Tomorrow, I'll also be laying out an affirmative framework for America's engagement in the Middle East to build on these